The president was inspecting guns when, all of a sudden, he saw one of his subordinates talking to his wife and then shot and killed the subordinate. This shocked the man greatly, but he quickly calmed down and continued to introduce the firearms to the president. The president appreciated him and agreed to let him sell weapons there. So, the man started delivering containers full of weapons for them, but Interpol soon discovered his cargo ship. Seeing this, the man quickly notified his subordinates to change the ship's name and then hoisted the Dutch flag on it. However, they only had a French flag, but the man wasn't alarmed because the colors of the Dutch and French flags were very similar. During the inspection, Interpol found that all the containers were filled with potatoes and didn't find any weapons. But what they didn't know was that the weapons were hidden beneath these potatoes. One day, the man loaded his private plane with weapons and was preparing to fly to Africa to sell them. Unexpectedly, he encountered the US Air Force in mid-air. The pilot ordered him to land immediately at a nearby airport for inspection. But the man ignored them, so the fighter jets began firing at his plane, and he had no choice but to land. To avoid being captured, the man immediately instructed his subordinates to make an emergency landing on a country road. He opened the plane's door, lowered the gangway, and started giving away weapons for free. He told everyone they could take any weapons they wanted. Seeing this, the villagers climbed onto the plane one after another. Some took grenades, some took guns, and others took ammunition. Soon, all the weapons and ammunition were taken by these villagers. When the criminal police arrived, only an empty plane was left. Without evidence, the criminal police couldn't do anything to him, but they still detained him for 24 hours. In less than a day, the African villagers completely dismantled the plane into an empty frame, and even the tires were taken away in the end. When the man returned to the hotel, he found that the president had been waiting for him for a long time. It turned out that the president had found the informant for him, who was actually the man's competitor. The president put a pistol into his hand and then held the man's hand to kill the informant. Only then did the man realize the cruelty of war. So, after returning home, the man stopped engaging in arms dealing and instead started a legitimate business. However, the legitimate business not only brought in money slowly but also had extremely low profits. That very day, the president personally came to the United States to find the man. He told the man that the war in Africa was getting more and more intense and that he urgently needed a large number of weapons now, but the man refused him on the spot. The man told the president that he had quit the business, but the president misunderstood his meaning. The president directly took out a diamond and put it into the man's hand. Looking at the diamond in his hand, the man decided to go back to his old trade.